Welcome to another edition of Dead Air Live. We have a very exciting show tonight. And I'd like to welcome Betsy. Betsy, I'm so happy that you're here.
Thank you. It's a great honor.
And by the way, the title of our show is Feeding Our Children a Healthy Future.
That's right.
That's right. And Betsy, you are the queen, the king and queen of this whole establishment with Living Foods in New England. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got started? You have such a great story about arthritis, alcoholism, ADHD, and this is how I believe you got started, because I've been following you, videotaping you for the past 2 years, and you're one of the most fascinating women I've ever met. So
thank you, which my mother always says it's a damn lie, but keep telling me anyway. So thank you very much. It's a very exciting journey that I've had through. I've had arthritis from a number of accidents that I had when I was younger, from skiing and car accidents, and then when you have a very acidic diet, when you don't eat many vegetables, you get a lot of arthritis. Things get into your joints, and it's painful. And I listened to doctors, and they said, chop off your knees, and then you'll be able to have metal knees, and it'll be much better.
Chop off your knees?
Yeah, I had so
what
much,
doctor told? Never mind.
I had so much arthritis that I couldn't walk at all.
Okay.
And so that they put in 2 artificial knees. And still I was bothered, and I had pain through the night. I couldn't sleep, and it was just really painful. And I also, on one of the other complaints that I had, was I began drinking at age 12 to escape things that in my life, and this continued through till 1980 when I got into AA, and then I put down the alcohol, but I picked up prescription drugs, and they labeled me as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, so they gave me Dexedrine in the day and Valium at night, and they said take as needed, and I needed a lot, so I was taking a great deal.
So from one drug to another drug.
Right, and then I also picked up more and more sugar as I put down alcohol, and I would go up to 235 pounds, then forcefully down again, and then I'd go up to 235 pounds, and I had such tremendous food cravings. It was tremendous. And it wasn't until my son is the most influential person in my life in changing my way. He's been interested since college in health. And
well, what did he say to you?
He just always was telling me to change my ways. He brought me out to Robert O. Young, who wrote the pH Miracle in Utah, and where my blood was analyzed, and I could see how much carbohydrates were in there, the little like Pac-Man, all the candida that was in there, and I wanted to change. And he recommended that I have wheatgrass every day and brought his juicer over. And I thought that I knew everything from him that I needed to know, and he kept wanting me to go to Hippocrates.
What is Hippocrates?
Hippocrates is a health institute that started here in Boston, right on Exeter Street across from the Exeter Theater, with Anne Wigmore. Anne came over from Lithuania and suffered a lot from automobile, it was actually a carriage accident. And the family, who was bakers, they put her out in the park, in the Boston Public Gardens of the Commonwealth, and she would chew in the wheatgrass the way she was told by her grandmother.
They put her out in the, what do you mean they put her out in the park?
Well, they had to bake food at night.
Okay.
They were bakers, and so they put her in the park to sit there while they'd bake the bread.
Oh, I see, because she was a little girl and they wanted her basically out of the way.
Right, because there was a small one-room apartment.
I get it.
And they just put her out there, and she remembered her grandmother, who had told her about how wheatgrass can cure your aches and pains if you chew it, and then the juice comes into you, which is really terrific, and then the poultice you put on your pains and their knees.
What is poultice? I know what it is. A lot of people don't know what that is.
Right. It's let me see how you describe it. How would you describe it?
I would say that the poultice is the pulp from the wheatgrass, when it's coming out of the machine, you have excess from the wheatgrass, and it's like the thick part that can't be juiced.
Thank you.
And then you take that and you put that on your sores or whatever ails you.
Thank you.
It's a topical. The pulpus is like the extra pulp from the wheatgrass after it's juiced, and it's topical.
Thank you. I completely, all of a sudden I went blank.
It's okay.
Thank you so much. And this poultice just, they said they were going to amputate her legs because of this accident. But she kept putting this poultice on every night in the day. She would chew the wheatgrass and get stronger. And by the time that we're going to go to the Mass General to be operated on, she was able to walk again. And she decided she really wanted to cure other people. And
isn't that marvelous?
She was just,
and that's what you're doing.
Well, I just want to be able to heal myself and heal the planet. That's my mission.
And also, too, one of your things, your big things, is you're working with children.
Right.
I mean, that is your mission for children and obesity. You live for that. You live and breathe that. Not only do you live and breathe that, you want all the people that you teach to carry it forth into the world.
And they've been doing this, and it's tremendously exciting. I love the classes I teach. To go back to my little journey, my son sent me to Hippocrates. He wanted me to go for years, and finally he'd been doing some renovation in my apartment, and I owed him $7,000. And he said, in Hippocrates, for the 3 weeks where you live on campus and get everything, therapy, emotional support, marvelous meals, and he said that I'll pay your way if you don't have to pay me back if you'll go to Hippocrates. And so I thought, well, okay, I'll go. And it was a life-changing experience, absolutely. The 3 weeks there were amazing. I learned this source of my food cravings. My food cravings went away in 21 days by eating just wonderful sprouts. Half your diet there is sprouts. And sprouts are pure energy. They're the life force. That's why I call my class Life Force Energy, because from sprouts, that's what you get, tremendous vitality and youth. You get just a feeling of feeling young. And I'm...
So you basically have turned back the clock by eating living foods.
Right, right. I feel younger than I ever have been in my life.
My mother was blown away when I told her your age. She says, no way. Do you want to tell everybody how old you are?
Sure. I'm nothing to hide. I'm 76.
76 years old.
And my mom's going strong at 102.
And you're a pistol. You definitely have a lot of energy.
I feel...
You wear people out, Betsy. You have worn me out. That takes a lot for people to wear me out. I will say it live on TV. Betsy Bragg has worn me out, but I love you, so that's the important thing.
Well, it's really exciting, and my son just helped me so much by going. And after that summer, I became a raw food chef, and then I met Victoria Botenko, who wrote 12 Steps to Raw, and since I've experienced AA since 1980, I thought the 12 steps works. I'll put it to food and be able to change people's lives, because we're such an acidic whole atmosphere. The televisions, the cell phones, the anger, all of these things are acidic. They make you acidic. And the most important thing to change first is water. Water, if you can make it alkaline, is just marvelous, so that you can get rid of some of the acidity.
Okay, well, we have to go to a video about your son. Your son is teaching his kids and all of us.
My grandchildren.
Yes, so let's check out this video.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't deprive them of anything. I mean, if they go to a party, they can have whatever they want. If they're at the house, there's limited choices. So we make the best with what we've got, which is all healthy food in the fridge. They
Put your hand over here.
they see the difference, and I say, well, watch what people eat who are heavier. If you go in McDonald's, do you see heavier people or do you see lighter people? If you go in Whole Foods or if you're at a salad bar, do you see people who look more alive to you or people who look out of, like on death's door? And if you go in like TGI Fridays, what kind of people do you see? And so they start to get the idea. And then I told them, every time they're sick, I say, well, what did you eat yesterday? What did you eat this past week? They can't think of yesterday. It was, well, it was Christmas. You know, you had Thanksgiving, okay. Did you, then also, you know, their understanding is like, well, I ate well yesterday, but you were mad at your sister all day, weren't you? You were crying, you went to bed really upset last night. And that's maybe why you got sick, vomited this morning. Your stomach was upset, literally. So tying the way they feel to the food. They say, oh, that food looks good and it tastes good, but you know you've got cavities and that food does lead to cavities, and you know that you may have less energy tomorrow and you may not be feeling well tomorrow, but it tastes good and it'll make you feel good now. And it's called comfort food for a reason. They give us emotional comfort. Whatever is up for us will be stored in that food in our body. And stored it is. I would know because I went through getting rid of that stuff. When we eat raw or living foods, I think it's raw for a reason, is you dealing with the raw emotions. Whatever's up during the day, I don't have any barrier. There's nothing to stop me from processing those emotions. There's no way to bury them, no way to hide them. I mean, you have to deal with them as they come up and you be very present with them. So sometimes it is good just to have a potato or some cooked food, because I have a very stressful life because in the work I'm in, and so I'll have a macrobiotic dinner or grab some avocado sushi or something, some bean soup or whatever that I know is going to be healthy, but it might not cause me to eliminate after that meal type of thing. But you do what you do. The kids pick up. What did you eat? Okay, when you've got an illness, it's not. We all have these things, diseases. They're named now. We've got great sounding names and stuff for them. But the main thing our body does is it will eliminate until it feels better. And I believe that all these medicines we're given are to distract the body while the body heals. I mean, the body is what's going to heal. When we cut ourselves, our body heals that. And provided there's air and it's clean. When we damage our insides, our bodies will heal that, provided the environment's clean. We've got oxygen in our cells. We've gotten rid of the waste. I mean, if we've got a dirty cut, it's not going to heal on the outside. And if we're a cesspool on the inside, living in our own filth, we're not going to clean on the inside. So that's not going to happen. Our body's going to try to eliminate fever or diarrhea, whatever, till we get to the point where, and if we continue to drink good water, I mean, if we continue to eat the same food, the hospital food that is not too good for us, that disease may persist, dis-ease may persist. But if we can surround the oxygen and fresh water and good nutrients, our insides can heal like our outsides do. Makes perfect sense to me, and it happened to me, so I would cause us just to challenge our thinking on these subjects. You may not agree with everything I say, obviously, but I'm just trying to speak from an uncommon common sense, looking at the body from, as an organism, as an animal, And yet we're human animals, and we have the emotional factor, and I think that's important.
Mention about Jane and the soup story.
Oh, when she started eating it?
That you.
Okay, so.
The usual breakfast.
Okay, so our usual breakfast for the kids is I make the soup out of avocados, spinach, and cucumbers, and I add some dulse, a sea vegetable for minerals. And I used to make it with vegetable broth, and now I make it with water and some spices, and I just put them all in a blender, and I blend it all up, baby spinach leaves, my wife said that the kids would never eat that. There's no way you get them to do that. It's like, yeah, just watch. So I wouldn't offer her any. Just every day I'd have myself, oh, here, get you a regular food, and I'd have myself, And sooner or later, she's like, can I have some of that? I was like, well, maybe if you're good. You know, but she's 2, you know, and so he's like, oh, I've been good, and he's like, I'll eat some. So she's eating it, and you know, would you like some grouse on that? You know, these rehydrated buckwheat grouse, they had a little crunch. And she was loving it, and she was eating it up.
They make rainbows on top.
It'll make rainbows with the sprinkled dulse, and the grout powder used to make designs on top, and all these different designs on top. And then one time, Jane came home from playing at a friend's house, and she pulled a tantrum on the floor, started putting her feet and hands in the morning. She was just doing this tantrum. I was like, I was shocked, and the mother started laughing. I was like, why are you laughing? She's pulling a tantrum because she couldn't get the soup, having her eat spinach. so I laughed too, and she immediately stopped that tantrum, and she never had a tantrum again. Unfortunately, I didn't grab my son at the same way, but we were lucky. We laughed first time she threw a tantrum, and that was enough to embarrass her, so she realized tantrum didn't work. But yeah, the best way to get other people to change is not to put it on them. It's just to embrace it yourself. And enjoy yourself. I mean, we cause more change by them seeing how I eat as a family, by the school picnics, or when we go on hikes, or when we eat in public. They say, oh, what you eating? Wow, that looks great. How'd you make that smoothie? You know, it's like, oh, what's in that? And it's like, oh, well, why is that green? Or what's that yellow drink you're drinking? It's like, oh, I made it myself. Oh, this salad dressing tastes delicious. What's in it? You know, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wow, this is so great. Oh, you look so healthy. What are you eating? And you say, oh, this. And you say, go and eat, and even at home, you eat whatever you want to eat. I'm eating this. You know, I'll help you with that. Well, fine, you know, but I'm eating this. I'd prefer to eat this, you know. And so obviously in restaurants and stuff, I don't want to make a scene. Some people do. And so I just order the healthiest thing on the menu. So it's simple. Yeah.
So Betsy, your son's terrific, but I know you want to continue with your story about Hippocrates.
Well, thank you. I went then to the 9-week training to become a health educator, which was phenomenal there. And there I had the opportunity to apply for a scholarship of $1,000 if I developed a business plan, and I developed the program, the 10-week classes called Life Force Energy, the Hippocrates Approach to Optimum Health.
Which I took. That's why I'm here.
Right. It just was a tremendous support in doing that. And they asked me what I'd use the $1,000 for, and I said to develop a DVD library about practicing the living food lifestyle. And so that before each class, there is the opportunity for the students to see 2 DVDs. Part of those are the Hippocrates DVDs that really cover everything from the principles of health to internal awareness, to ancient techniques of how to help people and modern techniques, to how to practice the living food lifestyle. And also other very important DVDs, such as Healing Cancer from Within, and the 21-day cure for diabetes, which was by Gabriel Cousens. Also in class, people have hands-on food preparation.
Oh, I love that.
This is really great. And people beginning to really experiment with preparing different foods and bringing them in, and they're exciting to share their ideas. And there's wonderful emotional support for the group. And we have guest speakers that have recovered from diabetes, recovered from Crohn's disease, cancer, all come in as speakers and share. Today we had a Lev Orgad who did breath work with us, and a woman who'd been tremendously stomach aches for a long time realized it was just her emotional blocks that were causing her the stomach aches, because through the breath work she was able to break through those emotional problems.
Wow, and we love the speakers that come into to your Life Force Energy classes. As a matter of fact, we have tape to roll, and you're going to tell us a little bit about some of these speakers. So if we can check that out, that would be great.
Wonderful. Oh, I look very funny here. But this is really fun with the class. I learn so much from the class each time, and we all have a lot of fun together. Amber Fuller was an amazing woman. She has CALSA daycare, and where the children are just enjoying eating living food, and they are learning nonviolent ways. And Rosanna Gaijin was teaching breath work at this class. Breath work is very effective for people. Diana Bronner recovered from diabetes, which she'd had, and she has no signs of diabetes now. And by just changing her lifestyle a little, we bring in more green vegetables little by little. Shannon Larson, a marvelous elementary school teacher, overcame Crohn's disease, irritable bowel syndrome, and celiac through just changing her lifestyle and eating more in a healthy way. Dorothy Torrey was diagnosed with cancer and was able to change her lifestyle completely, and is vibrant, as you can see, and full of life, and just by being more alkaline, changing the water she drinks. Randy Jacobs grows wheatgrass and sprouts and comes to teach the classes. People are learning that it's only costs 75 cents broccoli a tray to develop and have this marvelous wheatgrass we see here and grow sprouts. This is a picture of my microwave, which is jet technology, which breaks up the cells of the food, and I use it to store my nuts. Here's some of the students in my class, and my logo, which represents how we are all aimed to help children overcome obesity, chronic disease, and malnutrition. The juicing is so important in your life because you need to give your body a rest from 80% of your life is, or 80% of your energy is spent digesting food. And if you can give your body a rest and just have juice, and
80% of your body?
60% of your body, excuse me, is used, your energy is used digesting your food, mostly in your intestines.
I didn't know that.
All this.
I must have missed that in one of our classes.
That probably came up maybe afterwards.
You know, one of the things that your son said is that you have to eliminate after every meal.
Right.
And he also said something else too, which I didn't know, that if you have a lot of, I'm not sure if it was Tom that said this, if you have a lot of carbohydrates, the water that you drink, that's why people get fat. If they have too many carbohydrates, the water is absorbed in the carbohydrates. Whereas if you're having living foods, your body has it doesn't. It's like it's raw. It just, there's like no defenses. It can't absorb the water. You stay healthy. It's like you're in the pure emotional state when you have living foods.
Absolutely.
And I just listened to him say that. While I was editing, I'm saying, I must have missed that too. There's so much information, you can't get it all.
I'm always learning. Food combining is so important. If people have melons, for instance, they only takes you 15 minutes for a melon to go through you. So if you start like having meat first, or something very dense nutrient of, even if you're having the grains that are very healthy and alkaline, like quinoa, and you have that, and then you decide to have a melon afterwards, it gets stuck.
So
it's
fruit should be left alone or eaten alone, correct?
Right.
And if you have the fruit, it's like the fast race car that goes through your body, and if you eat something like meat, that's the slower race car, and then you put the fast race car after that, when it hits it, flatulence happen. People give out gas.
And food ferments in their stomach.
It's not
and
good.
And you start to see these big pot bellies of people.
Oh, yeah.
Which is all filled because of the
gas.
The gas that's in them, and the fermenting, and it's all stuck in there, all in there.
This is not good. Okay, well, let's talk about something really wonderful. We're going to show a video of one of the most delightful desserts in the world, banana ice cream, and this is one of your students, Shannon Larson, with a whole bunch of kids. Let's check this out.
Kids love to do this.
Oh, they do.
Today we're going to make a healthy dessert for children, banana ice cream. And we are going to make banana ice cream simply with bananas. And it is a natural treat for the children, and I put some different condiments here that the kids will be able to choose from. We have goji berries, cranberries, coconut. I have some cut up, chopped up walnuts, and cacao, which is chocolate before they put the sugar in. So everything's healthy and there won't be any sugar used in this recipe. And if the children would like to use a sweetener, I have the blue agave nectar, and I also have wildflower honey. We're getting ice cream!
I just said
Good on! Sit, go.
ooh, yeah. I want my
All
grandma.
down there. Instead of ice cream made with cream, we're going to make ice cream made with bananas. To do this, I'm going to use a juicer with an attachment, a paddle attachment, and when I put in the bananas, it will come out just like soft serve ice cream. But if you don't have this juicer, you can also use just a regular food processor. And you won't want to process it too much because it will liquefy, but if you do it in a really quick manner, it'll come out just like this. For these bananas, all I did was take a banana that was fairly ripe, and it takes about 24 hours. Just put it in the night before, and then you have your frozen bananas. Before you put it in the unit, you want to give it time to defrost, probably just a couple minutes, so it's not so hard when you're putting it through this feed tube. I don't think so. All right, let's do this one. Whoops.
Yay!
That one comes out great if you can get the whole banana. There we go.
Like a swirl.
Totally like a swirl.
Yeah, that's what I
All right, and put your topping on.
Are those frozen bananas?
There we go. They're frozen bananas. Yes.
Oh, that is so cool. I'm not.
Okay, and what do you want on? How does this compare with regular ice cream? Does it taste like regular ice cream or does it taste different?
Different.
It tastes different, but it's a good different.
Much different. Much better.
Much better. That's great.
Yum 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 yum.
So we have another video with another one of your students, Stephanie Lucas, and she's going to show us how to make walnut date fudge balls. Very cool.
Great.
All right, let's check this out.
Hi, I'm Stephanie, and I'm going to show you how to make walnut fudge balls. You have 2 cups of walnuts, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/4 cup of soaked dates. For the dates, you have to soak them for about an hour and take the pits out. These are the dates before, and these are the dates after you pit them and soak them. And once you have all the ingredients, you blend them in a food processor until they're smooth. And then you can take them out and roll them into balls. And this is the final product. And that's all there is to it. It's fun, easy, and delicious. Yummy.
Safety!
Kids, always remember safety is #1. And in this recipe, you're using a food processor, which has a sharp blade. So make sure your parents are around when you're making this recipe.
Yeah. That's a beautiful picture of you. So Betsy, as you can see, you teach your students very well. And so much so that we're going to talk about your passion. Going into the school system, this is what you live for. And we recently have gone into the Martin Luther Jr. King school system in Boston, and you have set up the same program that you teach everybody with Life Force Energy. Now you're teaching to the teachers so then they can carry on the mission and teach it to the students. So tell us about that.
We call it Optimum Health for Kids. Magnolia Monroe Gordon, my co-facilitator, was one of my students last summer. And it was her idea to do it in the school and to be able to give the teachers 30 credits for the 30 hours that they spend. Not only doing the same things that we do in the Life Force Energy class, except it's geared towards kids. so that we talk about the seeds and how they grow. And Magnolia in her classroom grow the sprouts and the kids and grow the wheatgrass. And since we don't have a juicer in there, they take little handfuls and chew it, and they feel energized by it. And there was a very obese third grader in her class. And first she said, "This is sort of yucky." And then she changed and she said, "This is getting to be delicious. I really like it and I feel energized by it."
Oh, isn't that fantastic?
It's just amazing. And a music teacher during break said always was very thin and exhausted, and she said, "Maybe I should try some of that wheatgrass." And she took some to chew. And she saw Magnolia at the end of the school day, and she said, "I have so much energy, I'm going to go to the mall." So,
Is that a good idea?
but at least she has energy,
Right.
which is really phenomenal. And the teachers are having wonderful lesson plans in their classroom. One of the teachers, Tom Rose, was able to lose a lot of weight, and has his project in the classroom. We were given 5 dehydrators by Excalibur that makes them, and the students were able to make sweet potato chips, chips.
Those are delicious.
And he did a blind study so that the students could see which are more delicious, the store-bought ones, the
Right.
roasted ones at the school, or the potato chips they made in the dehydrator. And all the students felt the dehydrated ones were much more delicious than the others.
Now that's the type of thing, this is the type of word we want to spread throughout the land.
It's really...
That eating living foods, whether it's dehydrated, whether it's alive, is the best way to go.
And my dream is to be able to have this program include also the cafeteria workers and parents, and to be able to have it manifest itself in a garden where the kids can actually get their hands in the earth, plant seeds, see the vegetables grow, because so many of these kids never have seen the vegetables.
I think we have a photograph of some kids with their hands in the dirt. I don't know if we can get that photograph up. That would really be great. Isn't there going to be a garden that's going to be happening soon in Boston? Is there going to be something that we're going to be implementing?
Well, it's not possible to have it at the Martin Luther King School, I learned yesterday. So that instead we are looking for a school or a community where we can have a garden and where we can teach the teachers and the parents and the cafeteria workers about this, so that they can carry it on and kids can take the vegetables they grow home and make food with it, because just the way they make it in class. They love to make nori rolls and the ice cream and other things. And the kids have a lot of fun making sushi, and we want to be, so I'm looking, and the audience...
So why don't you look in the camera and request what you're looking for, and ask the public, what are you looking for? You need a piece of land. You're trying to teach the children. This is huge, how to overcome obesity. So why don't you look into the camera? Maybe someone's listening out there that can help you.
So if you know a school or an after-school program or Boys and Girls Club, then it would be really wonderful that would want to have us come. I'd love to have something, a large organization like the Audubon, if to set up an endowment fund to be able to have money so that we could bring kids out to the gardens there, or a school that would like to have us come in and teach the program, the summer and after school program, so that we can have a garden. And here's some kids showing how they're planting seeds that will germinate and have sprouts, and then we'll transplant them into the garden. And they love getting their hands in the earth. And we want to be able to do this. So if anybody has this, please call my number, and 781-899-6664, and tell me who to call, and that we can get a program going in your school, in your neighborhood.
Why don't you say your number again, and maybe they can put that up on the screen so we can see her number, which would be really fantastic.
781-899-6664.
Beautiful. Because Betsy, what you're doing is just magnificent to teach the children. People are so affected, kids are so affected by what you're doing. Everybody loves you. Once you turn someone on to this lifestyle, they are into it. but they have to be introduced. And it's like me, I don't do totally living foods, but I would say I do 75%. Every morning I wake up and my body craves juicing. I love to juice, and when I drink the juice, I go, oh my God, I feel great.
It
I
is.
feel amazing.
And this is the juice here. I don't know that they can show a picture of it or not.
Of the wheatgrass
but
here
this
in front of us,
This grows
yes.
in 7 days. You have a whole tray of wheatgrass.
Right.
And it is absolutely delicious to have it in the morning. It's
Right.
so energizing.
Right.
And we grow sprouts, and we can grow them in our kitchen, and it makes the air fresh, and it's so much fun to see plants growing all the time. I make alfalfa sprouts. You can soak mung, lentil, and azuki and have those too. You can grow so many things just in your apartment. It's wonderful.
Well, you know what? They have to come to your class. Okay, we're going to show a video of what you've done, one of the projects that you have done in the Martin Luther King Jr. School in Boston. So
Great.
let's check out this video.
Thank you. Food as medicine. It's very, very important to have probiotics in your system. You know, the friendly bacteria that helps you to digest. And this is a natural way that's done since the Greeks. It's done in every civilization. They have fermented foods, and it's health for them. So it's very important for us, at least, to have 2 tablespoons at lunch and 2 tablespoons at supper. Or you can take probiotic supplements, but it's much better to have fresh food that's fermented. So today we're going to make a mixed vegetable fermentation. This is turnip, purple cabbage, and the next one I think is purple, then carrots. Then down here we have ginger that you might want to put on the bottom. And we have peppers that you can chop up. And so what you do first is you take your jars and you sterilize them if you have a dishwasher, I think you all have dishwashers, you put them in the dishwasher and it goes through when they're sterilized. Then the night before, you take the water, which you have here, and you make a brine. You put it on the stove, you boil it. After it's boiled and coming to a roaring boil, you put in 1.5 tablespoons of salt, sea salt. Not ionized salt, sea salt, which you can buy in any store, and let it boil for 4 minutes, and then just turn it off and let it cool overnight. And then next, what you do is you take your bottle, and you can put any herbs you want at the bottom of it. You're going to make your own, and you can make it. It's very nice to make, you know, those sand bottles with the different colors going up. That's what's fun to do with this. You put different parts going up, and you can see different colors going through. And it's very important to mash it down. So after you put the whatever herbs you want, we have a number of herbs here. Peppercorn that you can put in the bottom of the bottle. Then dill is a nice mixture. You can use mustard, a little pinch of mustard. These are all organic. Frontier has organic. Oregano, you have basil, you have thyme. Here's some fresh thyme. If you want to just sprinkle some of this at the bottom, you can put onions throughout, and you can use ginger at the bottom, or you can put the chili peppers in there. So you have a choice. But I ask you all to put gloves on so that you don't contaminate everybody else's. You can just put your own. So after you put your herbs at the bottom, then you can put a layer of anything you want, but you need to press it down, because pressing it down breaks it open and lets the enzymes out. One thing I learned is that with cabbage, you don't chop up the cabbage until a couple of hours before. You can't. With these, I did them last night. But these I did just before I came here today. And already you can tell by the taste they oxidized a little. So it's good. So we're going to have, and what's in here? This is garlic, if you want to put garlic in yours. Because some people like garlic. And although I don't use it personally. And these are actually for breaking crabs open, but Bed & Bath sold them 75% off. So I got them for 25 cents each, which is very good. And I pushed them down with these. These, you get sold at any hardware store. Just ask for a wide mouth mason jar. And I carry the water in glass because it doesn't leach, plastic does. And glass is the best way to carry water. So let's have some fun and make your own fermented. The one thing at the top, after you get your vegetables up to about where the lip is, where it's curved, that's when we're going to cover them with a leaf, either a red leaf or of a cabbage or the white leaf of the Napa cabbage. And you're going to push it down. Oh, excuse me. Before you do that, you're going to add the brine up to that point. Press it down as much as you can so there's no air in there. And then add the brine water up to here. Then you put the cabbage leaf on top, or you can use other kind of leaves too. If you have a grape vineyard next to your house, you can use that, or any leaf. And then you put the rocks in. Now all I ask for you is you please, then you're going to leave these 3 days outside on your kitchen counter at 72 degrees, not colder. And at that time, you put them in the refrigerator. And you'll keep them, you can eat them in about 3 weeks. And they last for about 6 months. Fine. In the refrigerator. So enjoy. Let's get to work. You know, put the herbs in first. Put the herbs, whatever herbs you want first.
So you put your spice first?
The spices down the bottom first. And you could do this with your kids.
Oh my God.
I love ginger.
Okay, so now you put this in, then what do you put in?
Put whatever herbs you want down first, at the bottom. Cover the bottom with your herbs.
Well, I know you're not put along. I think it's called like so good.
1, 2, 3, this way.
Okay.
And then. And then just chop it, yeah. When you get them up to about the ridge, then you're going to add water, once you press it down enough.
You can add water
Just a teeny bit more.
Okay, Betsy, well, you know, that was great being with the teachers, and I should have brought my sauerkraut in tonight, but I didn't. But anyway, let's talk about the other thing that you're involved with. You're involved with Raw New England community, which is huge. There's so many people that I've met there. It's been wonderful. And tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we have 2 newsletters that actually go out. One's Raw New England Community, and then our Optimum Health Solution. Each come out each month. And there are 3,000 subscribers now in New England.
3,000? And the recipes are fantastic.
They're wonderful.
Love them.
We on the website, on both websites, we have a wonderful over 400 recipes. And so you can just go on and get all sorts of recipes that are on there.
And we have a bunch of people that come to speak. Well, not all at once, one at each one. And they come from all over the world. So maybe we can show some of those people that you have for the dinner speaker series, which you are in charge of. So maybe we can roll that, and you can tell us about the people here.
Brian Clement is an amazing, amazing man. He's the one that started Hippocrates in West Palm Beach, Florida, after Ann Wigmore died. And he is now on our board of directors. And he is so generous. We'll have about 125 people when he comes, and he donates all the money. Viktoras Kavinskis is one of the pioneers in the field. He worked with Ann Wigmore, and he came to Boston, and he lives in Costa Rica now, and he's did all the scientific research. But here's Victoria Butenko, 12 Steps to Raw, and has brought so many people through her smoothies and enjoying green vegetables, and her wonderful daughter Valia and son Sergey. Here's Steve Meyerowitz out in Western Massachusetts, is amazing with able to teaching people to sprout and providing all the different ways, because here is life force. This is the life force, the chlorophyll, the oxygen that goes into us that we really, really need. Tim Van Orden is an amazing raw food runner and is now really stressing the importance of the basic elements, getting away from stress. And Karen Ramsey, her latest book is out on creating healthy children. She's a real authority on children. Her thick book is absolutely wonderful, telling from the inception of a child through a teenager. Jennifer Kornblit, her marvelous, all the recipes take 10 minutes. They're all kosher for those people that are kosher. People doing Seder had a Seder that was all raw. It was absolutely wonderful.
All right, and now we have another video to show of what happens, the different types of people that come to the Raw Food New England, the whole community. So why don't we check that out, and you can tell us a little bit about that, because we have a blast when we come. Those are on Tuesday nights. I can't make it all the time, though. But if Jean can show us, yeah.
Yes, the food people bring and prepare. Every month we have a food demo before, and the various chefs in the area teach us how to make new dishes. And people all bring different dishes and bring the recipes. And here's Stephanie again. And wonderful, beautiful food.
Delicious food.
That everybody loves to eat.
The crew's getting hungry.
It's wonderful, with desserts and soups, and everything is organic, and it's beautifully arrayed, and it's really delicious. And everybody looks forward to coming and eating for the first hour. And then we have a raffle, wonderful books and things off, and that's it.
Well, you know, I said the crew's getting hungry. Maybe they could chew on some of this wheatgrass over here. But I love the Raw Food New England. I want to jump to the next video, so we have a couple of minutes to talk at the end. And I would like if you could show the Raw Food New England dinner series.
Can you hear me when I...
We have a demonstration to show of Adrienne Martin, which is fantastic. You haven't seen this one yet.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so if we can get that up.
Can you hear me when I speak like this, everybody? Louder!
A little bit louder now, a little bit louder now. Oh, yeah.
Good evening. My name is Adrienne Martin. I teach raw food classes in the Maynard, Massachusetts area. I tonight am going to do 2 kinds of wraps. Not the singing kind, because I am no singer. But I have these great nori sheets. And today when I was at Whole Foods, I saw these awesome collards. So collards make a great wrap. Especially if you're transitioning into the raw food diet, collards are great to have around. You chuck a bunch of stuff in them, roll them up, you're good to go. So they're making a great bread alternative for you. So I'm going to do nori rolls and collard wraps 3 ways. And I will have to, and I'm following the food, well, I'm following the food combining people, but I'm not exactly following food combining. So this is slightly, some of them aren't the greatest food combining choices, but that can be okay sometimes. Okay. All right, so first, we're gonna grab our nori sheets. And I made today, real quick before I got here, I made a nut pate. This one, so basically nuts and veggies together to make a little nut pate in your food processor. I put in cashews, tomatoes, celery, and some Mexican, I think it was like a fajita spice to give it a little zing. So I'm gonna use that first. I'm gonna just rip these out of here, so. Okay, and the idea really is quick and easy and simple. We're not gonna try to overthink your quick lunch or your quick raw dinner, right? Thank you. Come on, baby. Here we go. So I've got a collard wrap, and I've got a nori sheet, and my friend Nancy Ames, a massage therapist in the Acton, Massachusetts area, is going to help me pass out little samples. Okay, so I've got my nut pate. This is like a little cashew surprise. So I'm gonna put a little on my nori sheet. I made this kind of chunky because I like that. Not too smooth. All right, so I put a little bit in each of my nori and my collard. I got some veggies off the Whole Food salad bar today, so it's a little lazy. I didn't want to do it myself. I also have some sprouts. Is that, yep, okay. So you can take a little veggie, little sprout. Okay, now with your nori, you're gonna take this little tiny bowl of water here. You're gonna just dip your fingers in it and moisten the edges. I know some of you can't see. I'm moistening the edge of my nori. And then I'm gonna roll that bad boy up. I'm not gonna worry about messiness. I'm not gonna try to cut this into 8 little pieces. There's no way. At home, I just take the whole honking thing and start chomping. Or I'll cut it in half if I'm feeling, fancy. Today, I can cut this in smaller pieces. But usually, a serrated knife with the nori makes everything so much easier. I cut it in half, and there I go. I'll eat like 3 or 4 of these wraps. I cut these up. Not everybody will get a taste, but you'll get an idea. And with the collards, no need to moisten. Just kind of give it a roll like it's a little burrito. Right, who made the collards tonight? Delicious. Somebody made them, they're really good.
So one of the crew asked if that was paper. And I said, no, it's nori, the nori sheets. And you were saying that Adrienne Martin, she was the first person that brought the potlucks after she went to Hippocrates back to us in New England.
Right.
It's great.
And I called her up in June, just before I went to Hippocrates, and said, oh, I'd like to come. And she said, oh, it was Tuesday. And she said, come next month. And I said, I'm going to Hippocrates. And she said, oh, when I went to Hippocrates in December, that's what I came back and I started the potlucks in my apartment. And we had 6 or 7 people each month. And that's why I started the potlucks, because I wanted to have the support and have a community of like-minded people who wanted to share this. And so I said, well, I'll come in August. And she said, oh, I'm moving. I'm not going to be doing them anymore.
So most importantly, you invite people. Of course, there's a fee where they come to Life Force Energy classes and they can be educated you do them on Wednesday nights and Thursday mornings?
Yes. My classes, which still have openings Wednesday night, are 6:30 to 9:30, and tomorrow we're learning to sprout. Randy Jacobs will be the guest speaker, and you're welcome to come. We get to take home trays and sprout them in your own home, and jars with mung and zucchini and lentil, and learn to sprout them. The other class is overflowing with 13 people, and that's a Thursday morning, 6:30 to 9:30, with the guest speakers coming. They're ongoing, so if you miss a class, you'll take them next time. These are health education certificate you get at the end. These are they're $425, but $300 of that goes as a tax-deductible donation towards the schools program.
Okay, and your name of your organization is Optimum
Health
Solution.org.
Right.
OptimumHealthSolution.org.
And you can look at that and you see OHS Kids for the kids program. The money from the Dinner Speaker Series also goes towards the school program and towards the gardens.
And you're doing a great service, Betsy. We love you.
Well, I love all of you.
Thank
it's
you
the
for
community
teaching us.
working together. It's everybody. This organization is completely run by volunteers.
And you're doing such great work around the world. And again,
it's really exciting.
OptimumHealthSolution.org.
Thank you. 781-899-6664.
You got that? 781-899-6664. 781-899-6664.
For you.
Okay.